Is that how you check your mics? You whistle in them, huh? That's good. No, that's good, buddy.
I could go check 1, 2, 3, check.
I feel like that's a more appropriate check. You know.
Which one?
The check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Used cars, copy down. Come on down for used cars. Hurry, Sunday only.
Yeah.
We've got deals.
Come on down.
And steals. If you want to get a deal, you gotta get a steal. Only at Harrison Ford in Bend, Oregon.
Bend, Oregon.
Yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, you gotta go where you go. You know, for work.
Okay.
Ready to do this thing or what?
Let's do it.
Rock on.
Kick it.
Track.
No,
every freaking time, and then that thing is spinning, and then it stops, and then it goes to black, and then we just bomb.
Wait, did you use the ending one for the intro this time?
I think I did. I gotta label those tracks because the one that opened up was like, you know, it's spinning. Folks, I apologize. It's absolutely amateur hour here at the Sound Guys, and you know that is just not like us. If you've been following our podcast,
you know we put a ton of work and effort into every minute little detail that we try to bring.
Absolutely, and it's just for you, the viewers. Thank you for sticking with us when we have shenanigans like that opening. Absolute bollocks. And so
and you know what's best?
What?
The people who are just listening via podcast.
Oh yeah, they have no idea.
They're like, wait, what's going wrong? What? So you should check out our YouTube page also.
Tell them, Nick. Tell them what they should do.
Those of you who are listening, pull over right now. Put the child in the laundry basket. Just neglect responsibility. Get your computer, get your phone, go to YouTube, to the Sound Guys Podcast YouTube channel. And ladies and gentlemen, you can see all of our fine mistakes that we've been making, but you can also enjoy the supreme quality content that we put out every single weekends.
It's quality.
Sometimes
that's what it is.
A month.
It's quality. Monthly, weekly, bi-monthly, yearly, annually.
There's a few random times.
Yeah, you know. And also, I want to point out one thing as a newly minted father. You know, I agree. I agree with Nick. Put the child in the laundry basket. They'll be safe. They'll be fine there. Lots of cozy, warm laundry. Don't give them cold, 3-day out of the dryer laundry that you haven't put away because you just don't feel like it and you're depressed.
Nice,
all get out. Oh yeah. Fresh, warm, out of the dryer laundry.
That's the best way to do it.
Oh my goodness! Whatever you do not put your child in cold laundry. Absolutely, put him in hot, fresh laundry. Smells great, feels great, just really warms and soothes the body. But I really want to get back to that. Thank you for our viewers. It was because of you that we can do this. Because honestly, we couldn't. I mean, with you putting up with our nonsense and the shenanigans of these openings.
It's true.
And us spending 15 minutes, going through the motions just to get you to give us a little bit of money and support us where?
On Patreon.
That's right. Support us on Patreon. It allows us to, afford things like bandwidth and
cameras,
better lights for Nick,
microphones,
maybe better lights for me.
This is good lighting right there.
You've done a great job on that lighting, Nick. We've talked about this on a couple podcasts. You really hit it.
That was a few weeks ago, so
yeah, you've hit it. But
we've been able to mimic it pretty well.
Couple episodes deep, you've done a great job.
Yeah. I think I need. I probably need a new wardrobe though. I seem to be wearing the same thing a few times.
No, you're plugging the 2020 shirt, but I do like how
I do have that today.
Off to my Yeah, I like how you can see my green screen is starting to kind of fade a little bit. It kind of creates a nice little warmth because last time I looked, I was a little bit too overexposed. I felt a little too ish. Yeah. So, but that's the show. We are the Sound Guys. We talk about anything and everything, and all in between. We're still facing a negative impact of events. Nothing's going to be happening, so we're going to be stuck here with you guys long term. We're hoping that you're going to stick with us, right, Nick?
As long as you guys tell friends and family to check out our show, we'll be here for you.
Whoops! Oh, hey, there goes my face. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, hello. It's like the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. It's like,
And then
hello, hello. Oh, I bet you I could even like change my voice. Ooh, yeah, I could do that. I could change my voice and like make myself all low. As you were, Nick. I'm just gonna dink around with the program here while I do my Cheshire Cat impression.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, as this lengthy intro has gone, I am the wonderful, the fantastically fabulous, and most reliable neighborhood Nick. Joining us today over in Alice in Wonderland land.
Yes. Oh, there it is. That's cool, huh?
You like that? You like that, Nick? It's the neighborhood Nick, just hanging out playing with all the audio stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Sound Guys. So, we're going to be playing with some sound apparently today. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're talking to Devil himself over there.
No.
The demon.
I'm the Cheshire Cat.
Did the Cheshire Cat have a deep voice?
Didn't he?
Did he even speak?
Yeah, he was like, I don't know. He did something. I
haven't seen the movie.
I
in
never
a
watched the
very
movie.
long
I just
time.
he was like,
I'm gonna get you.
I don't know, something like that.
Look at you playing and finding new things to play with.
Wow, that was good. Look at you finding new things and finding things to play with. That's good. That's good. I was just trying to fix my green screen, and I blew out my face and blew up my back, and now it's a workers' comp issue, and
Oh, that's wonderful. Affleck.
Yeah, I
Affleck.
guess. Leave it to OBS for a solid 420 works. That's good. Whatever. All right, so what are we talking about today, Nick?
That's a wonderful question. You still haven't even told us your name. I have no idea who you are.
Oh, well,
I'm Johnny Banjo.
Mr. Johnny Banjo. Well,
I like this.
I'm sorry. Johnny Banjo.
I'm not gonna give you the low voice. Just for me.
Not
I
gonna
know,
lie,
it's amateur hour. See,
that's
folks,
actually, I'm not going to lie.
See,
that's
folks,
a pretty quality sound.
this is why we count on our viewers to really stick with us through these difficult times.
Yes.
When we're just blowing through hours in the studio, doing crazy, stupid stuff, and we want you to let us know, hey, maybe that Johnny Banjo needs to lighten up. Maybe Johnny Banjo needs to fix his green screen. Maybe Johnny Banjo needs to stop talking in the third person. So, these are some things that
true.
we...
Could
right?
Could be
Yeah.
very true. Sometimes we do worry about his mental health.
Absolutely.
And well-being. And, ladies and gentlemen, you could be the cure. You could be the answer to many of Johnny Banjo's problems.
That's a little too deep there, neighborhood Nick.
But maybe you could also fix my voice. You see, you can look at the things that I do, and we can say, that's not cool. We don't like that, Jeremy. Knock that off.
Johnny.
Jeremy, Johnny, whatever. It is what it is.
they're gonna
I need
find
to, I
your
need to
real
get my
identity.
camera lowered down because I'm always looking at screens doing things, and then I never can look at my viewers, my friends, all the people out there who
That's
are
true.
enjoying the show. And I guess I might have been blowing your ears out. I apologize, guys, with that.
That could have been very loud.
I think the effects were just a little too louder. I think
that's better. That's even. It needs to have an even kind of tone, so they're not hearing, so they're not hearing my voice reflect back through the monitors into the mic.
Yes.
So just important things, little details like that, because we care.
We do. We care greatly about you.
we
And
care.
again, we apologize if that sudden change of voice and
You find it disturbing.
or caused a car accident, for example.
Maybe you should put the lotion in the basket.
Sorry.
Right?
You,
Yeah. No, for real.
You had to go to there.
What?
Nothing. It's an ancient quote. Ancient quote.
Ancient quote from a long
Time ago.
Sorry.
Well,
anyways,
ladies and gentlemen, speaking of distortion of
Distortion?
voices, distortions of the voice, ladies and gentlemen, I honestly don't have a topic off the top of my head this time.
that's rare. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I could go many different directions right
you have
now.
always tons of stuff to talk about, and now all of a sudden you're going to go crazy.
I'm trying. This was a very last minute recording and didn't do any pre-research as I usually do.
Let's pick up where we left off from last week. I like Mackenzie Bezos' smile, and she changed her last name. Jeff was a turd for leaving her.
There has to be more to the story.
No, there must be, because seriously,
There has
right?
to be.
But they say it, absolute money. What was it? Absolute power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. I don't know. Whatever that is. Let me look that up. Google should help.
I don't know that one.
Come on, man. Don't you know it was like one of the
Well,
presidents?
let's say this. I guess if
Someone
we're going to be
said
talking
that?
about wealthy CEOs and
Absolute
corrupt
power corrupts.
companies.
Saying.
we
Yeah.
we could go many different routes if we want to talk about corrupt companies and corrupt CEOs with corrupt politicians.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that dude. Whatever. It was in 1869. Power tends to corrupt. It says absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, that's not very profound.
Who said that?
Sir John Dahlberg Acton. He's the 8th baronet from, it's
So he's British.
wasn't nearly as profound as I was expecting it to be. I've heard it said better. But the point is, yeah, people sometimes, they get a lot going on and they kind of let it go around and they're just like, hey, it's, when you get to the point to where everything is obtainable and there's no need to worry about budget or, whatever.
Which Jeff Bezos really never needs to worry about.
But, I saw
budget
his
ever again.
interview like back when he was, he got such humble beginnings. Him and Mackenzie
did.
doing their jazz out of the garage. Great. It's the American dream, the American startup story.
I mean, Amazon stock, it started at like 20 cents or something?
Oh, yeah. And, the whole history of the company, the whole history of the growth. And I distinctly remember his interview. I think it was a CBS interview, long time ago, 2003, 4, 5. I was just a wee little lad, but it stuck out to me.
That's when Amazon began really
Yeah.
taking off from. Because
Yep.
I remember Amazon originally, people pretty much just used it for books.
Exactly. And
That's
that
all
was
I remember using it for when it first came out.
and that was the point. And I think maybe it was Mike Wallace. I don't know, but I remember I was young and it stuck out to me, and it was him, and they were doing the interview in the car. I think they were driving down the 404 or something in the Bay. Let's call it Mike Wallace. I don't think it was Mike Wallace. It was some interviewee sitting in the passenger side. Jeff Bezos is driving. They're going down the 404. And all he asks is this. He says, dude, Jeff, what's with the Honda? because he was driving,
With the Honda?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was like, "What's with the Honda?" Because like he was driving a little car, and
Okay.
Jeff's answer was, "Well, because it's practical." Like that stuck out to me because it's like,
That's fair.
dude, that's awesome. Like he didn't, all the other CEOs that had made it and they were doing, they were pulling in the big dollars. The first thing everyone went for was the flashy car, the expensive suits, and all those things. He stayed practical through and through, and the biggest thing that was important to him, which actually I agree with, is the customer first. And we've even done that in our own stuff in terms of when we do a job. I mean, we bend over backwards for our customers. Because we care. We care about the person. We care about the customer. It doesn't matter if the job is big or small. We still treat them all the same with, high class, high quality. And I will say that I've had run-ins with Amazon before in terms of my own issues, and I've had nothing but great results with their customer service. I don't know how other people have done. Maybe I'm sure everyone has their own story.
I've just found the interview.
I figured you might have, yeah.
It was on 60 Minutes.
Okay, I figured it was, CBS produced. Yeah. They have that color. You know what I'm talking about.
And why he drove a Honda even after becoming a billionaire.
Yep. There you go. I cannot believe how good my memory is sometimes. It scares me. But there's a color.
This was in...
Let me finish. I want
1999.
Producers know. Oh, wow. I was a wee
In
little,
1999,
wee little
according
lad.
to the New York Times, Jeff Bezos owned roughly $10 billion in Amazon stock.
Isn't that nuts?
And he was driving a Honda.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So first off, on a page 2.
A Honda Accord specifically.
I know. Cut to page 2. There's a specific color, and you guys know that. When you looked at Star Trek: The Next Generation, there was a specific color. Everything had a grade to it. When you look at, NCIS, anything that CBS produced, you can look at it as a colorist or as a producer. You can look at it and you go, yeah, that's a CBS production. There's something about their color, the way they did their in-house versus even NBC. You can look at two different production houses and be like, oh yeah, you don't even need to see any branding. You know what type of production it is. Okay, so back to the page 2, or no, the page 1. He was such a, it just started out with such humble beginnings, so I really don't know. You really don't know, but it seemed like, they had a good, if the right, everyone, they were kind of, hand in hand in this empire together. And good-looking people. They stayed fit. They didn't get fat. They didn't get the jowls like God knows I've gotten. My whole childbearing hips, and I'm getting just fatter by the minute.
I think Jeff Bezos went through a midlife crisis.
Maybe.
Because I'm looking at his car history. It's actually very fascinating.
Oh.
So he started with the 97 Honda Accord.
Wait, the car history's online? A wiki?
I'm on CarMart.
Of course. Okay.
So,
CarMart.
He started with the 1997 Honda Accord. Very, very practical.
Absolutely.
Actually, and the one that he had looks like it was in an all black or all navy blue design. A very good looking car, actually, for the 90s. Seeing how most of the 90s cars were like boxes.
Boxes and everything was like tan.
Exactly. So there was some style. Then he got the Cadillac Escalade.
Oh.
Which this was the 1999 version. So it was actually no, I'm sorry. The Cadillac Escalade was introduced for the first time in 1999 in response to competition from the Mercedes-Benz ML Class and Lexus LX and Ford's 98 release of the Lincoln Navigator. So we had some fancy stuff. But he went with the big old SUVs. And then he went with the Lincoln Stretch Limousine.
What?
So he started going a little bit fancy at this point.
But are we still in the 99? Are we still like, I don't get it.
It looks like this was early 2000s at this point.
Okay, so we're talking within a matter of years.
Yep, and then
From the time that interview came out, he lost his mind.
well, from the time of that interview, he was still driving that Honda Accord. For all we know, he still may actually have that same car. It was the first car he bought. But also at that time of that interview, he had $10 billion in stock. So he was doing good. After that, he also now has, or at least he did have, the Mercedes-Benz S450. Then he bought a Range Rover. And then, as he got older, he bought a Bugatti Veyron.
Oh,
Mansory.
snap.
So we're now into the very luxurious speed cars. And the last one that they have on his car history is the Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita.
I don't even.
So I'm thinking
I don't even know what that is, man. I don't. Really
it's
have
I personally do not like the design of the.
It apparently almost gives you gag reflexes. Jeez, dude, you almost threw up on the mic.
I
Are
mean,
you okay, buddy? Jeez.
I think the Bugatti Veyron is a much better looking car
Yeah, it's all right.
compared to the. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this right. Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita.
Koenigsegg, huh? Okay.
But I'm thinking Jeff Bezos went through a midlife crisis, and I think the divorce might be related to this midlife crisis.
Which is a shame because, again, if you just judge by, beauty being skin deep, I don't know these people personally, obviously.
We have no idea.
If you look at it just from an outward end kind of thing, they look like such great people. I mean, in terms of just charity
Looks
work,
like they were very friendly,
charity,
very hospitable.
demeanor, the way they carry, the physiognomy, the way they carry themselves, and it just overall likable. It's a bummer.
Apparently, it's not fun to be an Amazon employee, but
No, it's not. No, it's not fun to be an Amazon employee.
but it looks like the CEO may have been somewhat friendly.
Well, and the thing is this, that is true. That's the only thing that sucks about jobs in general. I don't think. I don't know how I want to put this. You have to do what you got to do to make ends meet. And for us, well, for me specifically, speaking so transparently, I'm just basically selling off pieces of my my income or my assets to stay afloat. That's fine, whatever. You have ups, you have downs. That doesn't really bother me. For some people, they couldn't live that way. That would stress them out. What?
I think Mark Zuckerberg might go through a midlife crisis also.
Well, let me finish my thought, and then
Okay,
we'll
go
wrap
ahead.
up with Mark. Jiminy Christmas.
Jeff. I mean Jeff.
Whatever his name is. Who's his name?
You're on Jeff Bezos.
I am on Jeff?
Yes.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. Okay, whew. I forgot where I was at then.
I was about to talk about Mark, but
Mark Zuckerberg?
yes.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jeff Bezos is Amazon.
Yes. I started looking at the car histories of both.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Because I'm starting to think.
Oh, I see. You're doing some real Dick Tracy stuff over there, huh?
Because here's the thing.
Okay.
Most men, when they're going through a midlife crisis,
Yeah, they buy different,
they want fancy cars
Sure.
or younger women.
Sure.
Those are the two big headline signs.
Well,
And
let's keep an eye on my life, right?
For both Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos, they both had very lovely wives. And Mark Zuckerberg, he's still married.
Does he have a good wife? I don't know.
I think
She's not a public figure, so it's not really,
I
Who
think
is she?
so.
Is she public? Who is Mark Zuckerberg's wife? Let's see. Oh, no, she doesn't get a lot of press time.
She doesn't.
So that's why.
So that also may be one thing that saves their marriage is Jeff Bezos and his wife kind of were a tag team couple. Mark Zuckerberg kind of is always under the hot water himself for Facebook. But I'm looking at the car
Do you
history.
think Mark Zuckerberg is really even real? I mean, come on.
He could be an alien for all we know.
Let's be honest. I mean, him and Priscilla, his wife, they both look pretty android-ish, robotic plant kind of,
Well,
And
Mark
why would
Zuckerberg-
they? And here's the thing that's really conspiracist, right? Why would, in terms of top photos, they really want to show Priscilla pregnant? Like they want to really draw home the fact that these people did procreate, because that's the most human thing you can do is make a baby, right? Sure, that means we have a man and a woman conceiving a child. Great, we're good. They must be human. All bets are off. But that makes it even more suspicious. I mean, for real, right?
Well, you want to hear what
because
Mark Zuckerberg's car history is?
How would two androids have a baby? They wouldn't. So it would only have to be this conspiracist build-out. I don't know, man. I'm on to you, Zuck.
Well, here's Mark Zuckerberg's current car collection. He has the Volkswagen Golf GTI.
Those are fun.
He has a Honda Fit.
Fun.
He has an Acura TSX.
Never drove that.
He has the Infiniti G sedan.
Drove a few of those. It's fun.
And his his crown jewel, we should say, is the Pagani Huayra. It is an Italian.
I love hearing you pronounce these. That's.
It's an Italian-made Pagani Huayra. Huayra.
Huh.
Maybe an Italian fan of ours can correct my pronunciation. This two-seater sports car has a wonderful design with a base price of 850,000 euros. It is considered by the specialized press to be in the same level of the equivalent models of Bugatti, Aston Martin, and Ferrari, just to name more recognized brands. And this beast comes with a V12 6-liter engine that develops amazing 720 HP. Yes, it is fun to drive for sure.
Hey, that stands for horsepower, not hit points. FYI.
You Grand Theft Auto fans out there.
What? No. No, whatever.
It's a video game. You got cars, hit points.
I understand that, man.
Together.
Whatever.
But anyway, I find it interesting. He's got a V12 engine.
Yeah, so I guess the presupposition here is that basically when folks start buying
He's going fancy.
Italian-made cars, that's when they all of a sudden... I don't know. I mean, I guess I've never been there, so I can't quite say. I mean, actually, to be quite... Here, are you ready for a real shocker? We're going to have a real shocker here.
Sound guy shock.
Sound guys... Oh, wait. Okay.
Sound Guy's Shocker.
The most I've ever lost in a business deal is $22 million.
Okay.
So, I mean, I had a little bit, and now I got nothing, and that's okay. I mean, I think entrepreneurs out there get it. You're up, you're down, you're up, down, and you hope to be up on the bell curve, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I never really had a desire to drop, more than 110,000 on a car. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't, I mean, the most reasonable car that made sense was Porsche. At the time when money was good, it was the Audi TT. But that was, whatever. I don't know, man. So maybe that's also age. When I get like 50,
the midlife crisis sets in.
Yeah, so let's watch the show. Let's see where things go.
If Mark Zuckerberg survives,
support us on Patreon. I need at least $500,000. No. We need more equity so that I can then have the disposable equity to purchase the car, and then you can see if my life falls to shambles in a train wreck.
Yeah,
that's content. I think we should go for it.
Yeah, and I mean Mark Zuckerberg right now, he's 36 years old.
Yeah, again, Android. I really feel like, I mean, this guy, there's no. But also, let's not discredit the fact of having good people, because this is one thing that I've ranted about with our folks. It's like, we're all so scattered, and that's fair. That's fair. Everyone's got to go down their own path. Neighborhood Nick and I, we're chilling out, having a good time, but we have other folks that. If they're listening, if we all got together in one big giant room, I firmly believe he could take over the world. Well, same with Mark Zuckerberg. He already had good friends and people that, really made short work of the timeline. And so, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, you can get a lot done in a year if you've got, good drive and good, good pizzazz. So, rock and roll.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know, man. So well, I guess we're going to put down the money. Or we're going to put down some bets on Zuck, old
I don't know
Zuck
if
and
we
Priscilla.
really, like you say, it's hard to tell. This is something I do have to wonder and ask about. This
Uh-oh.
is the Steve Jobs, the Mark Zuckerbergs that wear the same thing every single day. There's no variety. No variety. I'm always worried about people like this.
I wear the same thing every day, buddy.
That's why I worry about you.
You don't need to.
I-
Just worry about my eyes. I think I got like this dry eye. Remember that Ben Stein thing? Dry eyes, try clear eyes. Oh, that's almost... Oh, that's the guy that does the Flassic pickles. Remember? Ham up your ham, turkey up your turkey, Flassic. Ham up your ham.
Yes.
That's my new thing. I do voice effects, but seriously, my eyes are so dry these days. Ugh.
Use some
And
eye
they
drops.
itch, and I'm just like,
Don't rub them.
I know, I can't. I can't
Make it
help
worse. But no, I do worry, but
Ham up your ham, turkey up your turkey, Flassic. Sorry. I love that voice.
it's a good one. But
It is, right?
I do worry though, because the people who claim, they wear the same thing every single day, somehow it helps them. It gives them that consistency, that little bit of thing where it's like that's never going to change in their lives. For Mark Zuckerberg, it's a stinking gray T-shirt. For Steve Jobs and his turtlenecks or
I
something.
think it was turtlenecks, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so your brains are so powerful to create something like this, businesses and social media, but they can't pick out better clothes? Like,
Well, see, that's just it, Nick.
and what about their spouses? Why are their
You are
spouses
on a
not
different-
helping them?
You're on a
at this
different
case?
level. You're on a different level. Okay, remember, it's just like everyone talks about, like George Lucas, right? Remember George? Star Wars would have not been what it was without his wife.
It's true.
His wife was the one that made the show what it was. I mean,
It's true.
if you look it up, I mean, those of the viewers that didn't even know this, I mean, the whole beginning of the first, it was A New Hope, episode 4, that was going to be trash because he wanted to just draw it out with Luke and Biggs and we're on the planet, and then we look up and there's they're having a star battle, and then dude, no, it was too slow. His wife identified that,
Yeah.
and she was able to say, hey, look, why don't we just start with the action? Why don't we just get right into it, man? And then we can introduce the rest of the characters as the plot allows. And it made for such a better start. And that in this industry, you start strong, you finish strong. The middle can be so-so, but you gotta start. And so I say that because I think spouses that chill out with those folks, the Zuckerbergs and the Bezoses and those, they identify that factor and they're nurturing in that way. So folks that wear the same stuff, they identify that that's not what they're about. They're not the PR person. They're not the. I mean,
True.
even though most CEOs now have become more PR based, there's less PR people, and now CEOs also have to be the face of the company, which is fair. We've grown more accustomed to seeing the same kind of continuity in what they wear.
I mean, the only time I've ever seen Mark Zuckerberg in anything other than his gray T-shirt is when he's in front of Congress.
Which again makes him more of an android. I'm just saying. I mean, and quite frankly,
His brain is powerful like an android.
I cannot wait for the Neuralink from old Elon over there. That's gonna be great.
For the what?
The Neuralink, just drill a little hole in my head. And
yes.
Oh yeah.
Elon Musk wants that.
Oh my gosh, right? He's on the money. But just let's look at that too. Look at how much a stock shifts when Elon Musk tweets. I mean,
It also depends on how high he is.
No, well that's true too. But I think you're missing the point. It's like now in this decade, everything has become less corporate and or less closed, and
True.
Twitter has forced CEOs and companies and young guns to push. I mean, look at the Nikola disaster. Oh my gosh.
yes.
He wasn't even. None of his executive team was even qualified to do general construction, let alone run a hydrogen company. And like, what was it? It was his brother that was supposed to be director of like hydrogen and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But his entire resume was just a pool builder, or it was bizarre. The whole thing was nuts. It was bonkers, but it was actually the best, most brilliant scheme ever because it was all based on hype. It was based on charisma. It was based on, we have all these awesome things and all these awesome ideas. We don't even have a product yet, but all of a sudden we have this valuation of, $80 billion. Buy me out, blah, blah, blah. The stock peaked at 70 a share. I mean, on fluff.
Yeah.
Dude, he didn't even own his own designs. The truck designs, as I understand it, were basically stolen from an art college, and some students came up with these ideas, and he's like, maybe he paid for them, I don't know, but it's like, dude, really? Yeah. The whole thing was a crock. I really encourage anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about to just do a little bit of research. Just Google Hindenburg Research Nikola Truck Company. That's all you need to do. It'll give you the best history ever. I love it.
It's a very interesting story, though.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
It's a very interesting story.
I love it. So the point of that is, you look at, people with charisma. They don't necessarily need to have the image. Even like what was it? Sprites, image is nothing, obey your thirst. Or image is everything, obey your thirst.
Image is everything, I think, was Canon or...
No.
Because there was that Andre Agassi commercials, image is everything.
I think that was Take Your Best Shot.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, while you Google that, my theory on all of this is the early turn of the decade, 2000 to 2000, let's say 2012. I'd say just a little bit after the crash. We were all based on the latest, the greatest, keeping up with the Joneses, looking awesome. Even myself, I actually used to wear suits and awesome, cool things and look as fresh as possible.
Which is good.
Carrying,
Which is good.
Yeah, it's okay. Fossil bags and blah, 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 and having the floor shims and, whatever. But and I still have some of that stuff. I like to match leathers. That's cool. If you're going to wear brown leathers, match the belt, match the man purse. But, there comes a time where it doesn't really matter. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter. I mean, are you able to deliver the goods?
Yeah.
And so if you've got all this hype and I think that's what people looked at. They finally, after 2008, like, dude, this is BS. Every bit of it is just smoke and mirrors. We've got CEOs that we never see. We've got PR people that look sexy, say all the right things, but they've totally fed us a line and left us out in the creek without a paddle. And we have all these other issues going on. That's not what matters. But then when these companies start to come out of the forefront and we start seeing CEOs, owners, people of these companies start talking, and they look like your quote, average Joe.
Yeah.
Maybe they wear the same thing. It no longer matters. In fact, most people become very suspect of the person wearing the tie. They become very suspect of the person wearing the coat because now all of a sudden that's the person who's going to screw them over the most. That's how, unfortunately, the world sees it now.
Sure.
And this is just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but and that all happened because of the last crisis. If you think about it, every crisis brings out a change.
It does.
We had 9/11, we had the crash, now we have COVID. So who knows? Who knows? That's kind of,
We could see massive changes now.
my take.
We already see massive changes with events and everything.
Oh, yeah,
But I
events are done.
found what you were referencing, just real quick.
Oh, what I referenced?
Image is Everything is the Canon commercial with Andre Agassi. What you were referencing was not Kobe. Kobe Bryant was in a commercial, but that Sprite, image is nothing, thirst is everything.
Fair. Okay.
That's what you were referencing right there.
That's good. That's good. Well, Nick, you...
That's what we do around here on the Sound Guys podcast. We make sure we fact check ourselves.
Dude,
we want to
what
give you
time is it?
reliable data.
Here we are in the studio recording. It's
It's 1:30 in the morning.
1:30, and the client texts me. Are you kidding me? But
The client just texted you.
But he likes the video, so that's good.
That's good.
He just said-
Why in the world is he awake right now?
And he said Yahoo. So maybe
Is it Yahoo or Yahoo?
Well, it was Yahoo with 2 exclamation points.
Yahoo!
Right. Fair enough. But I explained to him after that text, though, we cut a slice from the talk show, and that should be up later tonight, and then all 3 episodes will be up tomorrow. So probably he's more interested in what's coming up tomorrow, as opposed to the short that we made, blood, sweat, and tears, whatever. I would have expected him to be like, hey, man, that was a good cut. Thanks. Whatever. Is what it is. I digress. Hey, but no, for real though, it's okay. I mean, maybe this would serve as a good time capsule for us both to see where we're at, in 2030.
I mean, I'm in that place where, I try to wear a suit jacket as much as possible. I actually love jackets. Jackets are my thing. So like right now I have a nice leather jacket.
Honestly, I was looking at, I'm thinking about going back to leather.
The leather jacket, man.
There's a couple.
They're nice and warm too, which is shocking.
I got a leather bomber that I didn't like. I like what you've got, the more straight, more flatter, whatever type. Because I had this stupid poofy leather jacket, like a biker's jacket. It was dumb.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I'll tell you what, there are. I think I don't want to go black though. I want to get khaki, and I want to get a brown one. Yeah, I want to get a lighter colored. I think that might do well.
I'm more of a fan of the darker colors. So like all my suit jackets are dark blue, black. I do have one gray jacket. I do have one gray suit jacket.
Right.
But
well, and that's the thing when it comes down to actual suit coats.
yeah.
I mean, the only thing that fits me these days, because I'm such a gargantuan monstrosity of a fat pig, I find myself in the navy blue Versace, or Versace, sorry.
You got fancy stuff.
Well, it's just that's the last thing. I mean, I sold everything else. I mean, good Lord. But
I just have the $200 Macy's and an H&M jacket.
Well, I take that back. Well, I gotta try. I have a. I don't know. Maybe if I fit into it, I don't know. That's all I feel good about wearing. Because if I put anything else on, heaven knows, I'll just get upset and I'll just go back to bed. Just like
it's all downhill from
this. Doesn't fit. Okay, well then you know what? Forget it. I didn't need to go out at all today, anyways. I'm gonna go back to bed.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's how we are here at the Sound Guys Podcast. We're going to give it to you straight.
Hey, but the good news is at least I know it's a recording and I'm not like plugging it like we got viewers dipping in halfway through the show like it's live or anything. So at least I fixed that.
We got some improvements.
At least I fixed that faux pas. And that's what I was telling when we opened the stupid show. I cannot thank you guys enough for sticking with us this long. This is great. I mean, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're listening. You're seeing improvements. You're listening to improvements. You're hearing as we progress. This is a journey together with all of us. This is us together. All of us together making the journey as we navigate the perils of podcasting and we navigate the challenges of doing good sound, good continuity, and also engaging content. Yeah.
It's true. Very true. We try.
And it's all right, man. And I just kind of, and now that I'm not talking about live shows, gosh, I really need a haircut, though. Heavens to Betsy. I
haven't done a haircut
I got hair growing out my neck like it's like, ugh.
Since like the beginning of
COVID
quarantines and everything here.
It's disgusting. It's just, but all the hairdressers are closed and now we're getting to back alley barbers. That's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's amazing how many things have become like black market. Like you got to have a...
Would you ever have thought that walking outside without a face covering would be considered an absolute destructive tragedy that you could kill millions of people?
It's weird that it's so polarizing based on region because some places they don't care. I mean, it's amazing, and the people that don't care seem to be so emboldened by like, oh well, you just. I'm like, dude, calm down. And like, I put a mask on just because honestly, I don't care. If it makes someone else feel better, then let's do it. My goal, honestly, is just to get along. If we can get along as best we can, we're all supposed to be in this terrible place together. We're all supposed to be able to kind of see eye to eye. We've lost the ability to have any form of common decency, simple dialogue, and that really pisses me off because it's a bummer. It's a big bummer,
true.
man. And so like someone like, picking on me because I'm wearing a mask. I'm like, bro, I'm doing it for other folks, man. I mean, it's no sweat off my back to put a mask on. It's more telling about your personality. It's more telling about your situation than it is mine. And like they always say, when you have a finger, what's you got 3 pointing back at you? Anyway,
That's a classic one.
it's a classic. But
I guess I kind of have a different. I agree with what you're saying. I do agree with what you're saying.
I love this show because Nick's always got something else to say.
I'm very controversial.
And that's good. That's
with
good.
Almost everything. I'm one of those people where it's like, I don't care if you wear a mask. I don't care if I wear a mask. What I care about, and this is just because I think I will admit, I am a very prideful human being, and I don't like being told what to do. I don't, genuinely. It's one of the worst feelings in the world for me. And so when everyone is telling me I need to wear a mask, my rebellious side is like, no, I don't want to wear a mask because you're telling me to wear a mask.
Let's explore that, Nick.
Now, if you kindly asked me, hey, do you mind, we're going into this store, would you please wear a mask? I'll be like, yeah, no problem. But when I am demanded to wear a mask, Joe Biden, I'm looking at you.
Oh my gosh.
I could say this to a lot of people, actually. But I just genuinely being told what to do. I think that is honestly the reason why so many people are upset about the mask thing. Because of the way it is now, I think especially now, you are demonized one way or the other. If you wear a mask, people say you're a sheep. If you don't wear a mask, people say you're a science denier and that you want to murder half of the world. We need to stop the whole polarization of this and the demonization of wearing a mask or not wearing a mask.
No. Yeah,
we just need to go back to, you know what? You do you.
Well, I think the biggest issue is that for the public at large, it's more of a leadership issue. It's not has anything to do with who's in office or whatever's going on. Is whoever is in office needs to lead. And the problem has been we've been too passive on it. Either I mean I want to touch on your being told, not to do something or whatever in a second. Because I don't feel like honestly I've been told to do anything.
Oh, really?
I don't. I mean,
well, that's good. That's good.
Because I don't, I mean, maybe because I'm just so apathetic about everything in general that I'm just numb to it. I'm not super aware anymore. But, it seemed to me more of a societal comfort. People are scared. People are fearful. And so because of that, I don't need to contribute to any more of their fear. I don't need to contribute to any more of whatever, because the media and everything else is saying, wear a mask, do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
so,
they're already terrifying.
You see what I'm saying? I've disconnected the, quote, command to wear the mask. I've disconnected that as an instruction to me. And I've seen it as an instruction to the people. And I've been like, oh, that's too bad. They feel bad, so I'll put one on too, just to make them feel better. You see what I'm getting at?
And I completely.
I don't know the science
understand
behind it. I don't. I mean, I know in the Spanish flu, people wore face coverings. I mean, I know there is historical precedence for face coverings.
Yeah.
But and honestly, on the cold days we've had, I like it. I like being outside. I like putting on the bandana a couple layers thick so everyone knows I'm being it safe. Not just 2 pieces. I have 5 little things of fabric. Bum. I like it. It keeps my face warm. Honestly, it's cool. I mean, it's a great It's a great fashion accessory. It looks good. I got a little black bandana. Put it on. It's good to go. I'll wear it all day. I mean, it's actually, and for the cold weather, cool. Now, I don't know about the hot weather. We've done some jobs
I
in
will say,
summertime.
it does depend on which mask you're wearing. Like
Yeah.
the bandana one, I agree with you. I actually do like the bandana a whole lot more than like a surgical mask. I don't think I've ever worn an N95, so I can't compare that to an N95.
It's like whatever.
But
Same stuff. And the whole oxygen thing, I can't. I think that's psychosomatic. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, and I'm not trying to
I
offend
think a
anybody.
lot of it is just the psychology of your own
I'm not
personal
trying to offend
mental
anybody.
side.
I mean, if you've got your own personal experiences that are different from mine, that's cool, and you should live those experiences. All I'm saying is, for me, my approach is really just, love the earth, and if you guys got an issue, let's do it. But there's no reason to fight over it. We got bigger issues. I mean,
We do.
That's the thing, and so for me, I mean, I don't know. I'd rather worry more about people that want to work. Let's get them to work. There's a hunger for entertainment. A lot of people that we talk about the jobs. A lot of people that work at Amazon. People that are underpaid. A lot of people, their outlets, they save up to go to Coachella. They save up to go to Stagecoach. They want to go to Burning Man. I mean, there's a lot of major events that people would prefer to go to because that's an outlet. That's something that people look forward to.
Yeah.
And it kind of allows you to count the days. It's just like as we were kids, we all looked forward to Christmas. There was always something to do, and that's the bum about the situation we're in. There's really nothing to look forward to anymore.
Very true.
I mean, the only thing that people look forward to is hopefully word from the Fed that there's another stimulus coming down the pipe. And that's really where we cut back to the whole CEO thing. It's like, investors, people that are now noob investors on like, Robinhood or all that jazz. The only thing they look forward to is Elon Musk or, not Steve, he's dead. Whatever. But or Zuckerberg or someone saying something. That's what we've come down to. We look forward to news now, and that's pretty square.
That's very dangerous, also.
It is because
the
that's
news
how you
changes
start.
far faster.
That's how you
far,
start
far
propaganda because we're just waiting for something to come out. And it's just.
True.
But and I also I blame our industry. I blame media for that because the COVID ratings are awesome. That's how you want to start every broadcast. You want to get the latest numbers out. You want to do whatever you can to do that because that's ratings driven, and that's okay. But I feel like it's not healthy. It's not healthy to dwell on a lot of these things. It's more healthy to develop a sense of what we're doing. The vaccine news, that's great. Vaccines are coming. Cool. So work with that. You got AstraZeneca, you got Moderna, you got Pfizer. Everyone's cooking up something. So let's rock and roll and see how it goes. Yeah. I mean, why not? I mean, if it's the zombie apocalypse, so be it. We all die. And, depending on the deity you believe in, you either start all over again, you respawn as a different gender and a different, ethnicity.
Possibly a different animal.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could do that too. But I mean, I think it's more macro. Like let's focus on what we can now for our people, than waste time with conspiracy that's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is really, like I said, I think I've said this before, delegitimize your voice in a public platform.
Yeah, probably.
But that's weird, though, man, that you feel like you're being told.
Well, it's because people yell at me all the time about it.
What? Where? Up in the bunker?
So back in, I'll go back like in April and everything. In April, before, this was like on, off, we're not sure if we want masks. We think we may need masks. The government was going back and forth and everything. I was going into a grocery store. And rather than just kindly put up a sign that says, we require masks to go in, which I think that's fine, a little sign that tells me that. Or if someone would have said, hey, just so you know, we actually require masks for this business. That's great. But when I went in, not having a mask, got yelled at by the cashier, and I can't use it because there was expletives or explicit content that was yelled at me.
Wow.
But when it's like that, when there's so much animosity,
Dang.
I don't. Well, first,
That's
I don't
like
feel,
the Doonesbury cartoon.
yeah, I don't feel welcome there, and so naturally, at least my rebellious instinct, because
Wow.
I'm a challenge. I have a challenger personality. You should take. I don't know if I've shown you this, but there's like the personality tests where you have all these different
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah.
I'm very high in the challenger. So
No, I gathered that.
So when someone tells me what to do, my initial instinct is to fight back and rebel against
Well-
what they're trying to tell me.
Yeah, under that context, though, I probably would have been pretty upset too.
But that's not the only time that's happened to me. I've had that happen in multiple states now. I've had that happen.
type situations you get yelled at, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of times. And sometimes it's not just a combination. This has happened on both sides. I've had people yell at me to put on masks and people to yell telling me to take off masks. And in both cases, I just want to do the exact opposite of what that person is telling me to do. Because I'm being told exactly what they want me to do. They're saying it in a very aggressive manner.
Wow.
And I don't like being told what to do in an aggressive manner, especially because then I just want to show you.
Yeah,
What's
I
up?
don't know what I would do in that situation. I haven't, and even with all the traveling, I can't believe I haven't experienced that. I have not
Which is good.
experienced
That's
the but then again, maybe I was an early adopter of masks wearing. Maybe that's what it was. Because I mean, as soon as they were like blah blah blah, I started wearing the bandanas and stuff. I just didn't want to deal with the political, statement and blowback and blah blah blah.
But then, of course, you also, there's so many different places where it's like the local population is like, screw it. We're not going to wear masks.
Well, it's just like the
and
guy
in
that
other
you hauled.
populations where it's like, no, we will make sure you all have
And that was the
masks.
thing where we were doing the whole where they got that U-Haul truck a couple days ago. The guy was not wearing his mask in the store, and he was so proud of it, and he was kind of crap talking, but wasn't directly to me.
Yeah.
But it was kind of to the room at large, and I could have chosen to engage, but I was like, hey, whatever. So I don't know, maybe, but it's just, again, people that if I had time to spend with these folks, I'd be like, what's going on in your life that makes you feel like you need to kind of, be a little more aggressive than you should? I mean, I think it's more the wearing of the mask now is more acceptable as opposed to the wearing of the not wearing of the mask. So people who are like, hey, you need to take that off. Well, then you basically be like, okay, well, hold on. What's going on with you that makes you feel like you need to just tell me what's up? I mean, you could ask me if you're cool with me taking it off. That's cool, but you don't need to be rude about it, bud. I mean, it's almost like I don't know if I don't know if that would be the appropriate response and how that would be met. Because if they just escalate and they're like, what? You want to start something? I'm like, well, then clearly you're just looking to start a fight.
Yeah.
You're not looking to, to ask me politely or whatever. You're just pissed off at the world.
Yeah.
And honestly,
But I think when people act out in that nature where they're so pissed off and they're just going to go after everything, and of course, being in lockdown has not helped anyone's mental health in this manner.
no.
So we have a lot of that also to add on to this crazy animosity between mask and non-mask. But it doesn't help either side. And I think this is one of those issues, is that we and this has been going on for years, especially in the realm of politics, especially, we see people now as just pure enemies rather than
Yeah.
compatriots that just have different ideas or different philosophies, shall we say. And when we start going into that realm where everyone is just the enemy of everything I believe in,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
of course we're going to have cliques, clans, factions and everything that are going to go toe to toe with each other, and it's going to end up in a very bad way.
It's a bummer. It is a bummer because, like, even in our industry, like, for me, I really enjoyed the competitive nature of working against and with competitors. Our friends to the north and to the south, it was always fun to, oh, you got that gig, I'll get you next time. Or, it was I don't know. It was always fun and it was a friendly spirit, but there were some vendors, some companies that didn't see it that way, and they would like to. It's a bummer. I guess what I'm saying is, it's a bummer that they felt so inadequate that they needed to talk smack about other companies and so on to better themselves. And when that comes back to the company, it's a shame that you hear that, because you're like, because clearly the customer felt well enough of us and felt well enough of other competitors to drop dime on those people. But, hey, man, well, these guys kind of said this. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer that they said that. But, whatever. You obviously hired us, so you didn't hire them. Yeah, whatever.
It happens.
And I think that in the industry, that brotherhood, in a sense, like, hey, cool. And also complimenting other people's work. I've seen some other companies do killer work. I'm like, man, that's great. You did a great job. I love that. And everyone learns, and everyone. I hate that society as a whole has lost that level of camaraderie.
Definitely.
That's a bummer. Talk about where did we even start with this episode? CEOs and Jeff Bezos and how
we did.
And Mackenzie, her cute smile.
Yes.
Man,
Yes.
yeah, for sure. Hey, dude, we've wasted yet another hour of these people's time.
We've seriously gone through 1 hour
I'm telling
already.
you, man, we blow through these episodes like it's
Christmas.
We just get on a rant and we rock and roll.
And
dude,
this week, it's funny, ladies and gentlemen. I just have to tell you this real quick story. When we were beginning the idea of this podcast, when we were just beginning the idea, we were driving to an event because we actually had events and we were working a little bit. We were talking about creating a podcast, and then COVID happened, and we were like, we should make a podcast, and we will never mention COVID. Here, we just did almost an entire hour. Or about 30 minutes, maybe 30 minutes.
Did we say we'd never mention COVID?
That's what we tried to. That's what our initial idea was. We don't want to mention COVID. And it's funny, when we first launched our little beta sample episode and everything, we talked about COVID at the very beginning. So
we did, huh?
We did.
Well, maybe we should try to stop.
Maybe we should try to talk about things to bring
We should try to talk about other
world.
things that are fun and, like, not COVID-y. Or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
It's a little difficult to do in this day and age.
What do you mean? Come on, dude. We just don't talk about it. We just talk about Bezos and his divorce.
That's a messy divorce.
I don't know. I would love to hear more information.
Jeff, contact us, please.
Yeah, Jeff or Mackenzie,
we would love to have you on the show.
We're the Sound Guys Podcast at gmail.com. Just shoot us a note. We'll be like, hey, man.
Just clarify a few things for us.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, because, like, we got to get some more information on this whole thing. Honestly.
Be great.
Yeah. All right. Well, how do they find us, Nick? What are we doing?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so very much for staying with us this entire time of us pretty much just rambling on and on. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button if you loved what you heard. Hit subscribe if you just can't live without the Sound Guys, and hit the notification bell. Just like any good drug, you just have to have that immediate feed in there. So just contact us, get involved. If you're if you're listening to us on a podcast, leave a review, rating, comments, all those good things help us go up in the algorithm and become more and more popular, so that we can actually do research before doing a show and
find out what you want, as opposed to just taking this wet rag and throwing it against the wall and seeing what sticks, stuff like that. So yeah,
that's how you end up with episodes like this.
Dude, these episodes are great. Hey, thanks for sticking with us, though, guys.
That's true.
That's it, right? Well, your neighborhood Nick, I'm Johnny Banjo. Are we done?
I think we're good.
Bye-bye, guys.